on the way to being free.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic this evening, wherever you happen to be tuning in from, and whether you're watching from across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, or Facebook Live. Shout out to all you guys. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. As I said, Ben Kirkland, thank you so much for the follow over there on DLive, as well as Darren Goulder. And The Awakening is here over there on YouTube. All right. We got a great show for you guys today. We're going to talk about Binance geo-blocking. We're going to break that down and actually talk about what does it mean utilizing a VPN to access the Binance DEX. How can you get around the Binance DEX geo-block from the Binance org website? Can you access it through a wallet? If so, what wallets can you access the Binance DEX from? What are the risks of utilizing a VPN to access the Binance DEX and bypass their terms of service? What do their terms of service actually state about doing such a thing? We're going to talk about a little known fact about renewable energy and Bitcoin. Yes, you heard those two same sentences, those same two words, Bitcoin mining and renewable energy, in the same sentence. Yes. We're also going to be talking about Bittrex in the same context of Binance delisting coins for U.S. traders to trade on. We're going to talk about that in the same context of Bittrex delisting coins for United States citizens to trade on, as well as other individuals from prohibited countries, but most in general focusing on U.S. citizens. And we're going to break the market down. And we're going to take a request. We're going to look at Forex. Obviously, we've got CME futures open, so we're probably going to go there first and take a gander. Price is currently trading at 76.29 on Bitstamp, which is what we generally use for our long-term historical analysis. And we're going to answer any questions you guys may have. So, as we start off today's show, as we always do, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Give us a follow if you're over there on Twitch and D Live, and share us around to your family and your friends and people you don't even like over there on Facebook. Same with YouTube, guys. Let's get this thing going. All right. I also want to give, before we start today, I want to thank Crypto Meister, Dare Crypto Meister, one of our moderators over there on Twitch, for boosting our server. Thank you so much, my good friend. The guys, the admins, we decided to upgrade last night to the full Discord Nitro. We had Discord Classic for quite a while, Discord Nitro Classic, and the reason for doing that was we like emojis, we like GIFs. And Discord has been such a great platform to us to host a lot of what we do. Not only do we have the free community, it's also where we host a lot of our premium content on as well. It's a very great platform for us to interact with everybody. Just offers us a lot of options. So giving back, obviously, one of the important rules in life for me anyways is you want to provide value to those who provide value to your life, right? So this may seem like a not direct analogy of that. However, I do think that it is. When Discord Nitro started offering Nitro Classic, we got Nitro Classic. I'm not a gamer. None of us are really gamers. I mean, well, I guess some of us are, but I'm not a gamer, a big gamer myself, although I do like video game lore. I used to play video games when I was younger. I do kind of like video games, but I just never have the time to play them. The last game that I was interested in playing a lot was Soma. I never had the time to really play it, so I just ended up watching a few videos on it. It's a pretty neat story. I like concepts of AI and really, existentialism and what that all means to be a human and what artificial intelligence means and what consciousness means, the idea of copy and pasting consciousness, not cut and pasting, which I think not a lot of people talk about when we talk about artificial intelligence or consciousness copying. But anyways, if you guys would like to support the Discord server a little bit and you do have Discord Nitro, you can boost our server. If we boost our server, I believe it's 6 more people to help boost our server. We can have enhanced audio clarity for our calls, for any video chats that we may have, whether you're in the regular trading chat, whether you're in the general voice chat, or you're in the VIP voice chat or the VIP trading chat. We can also increase the limit size for sharing files. So, and we can also add emojis. So emojis are pretty happy, pretty fun. So thank you so much, and thank you especially to Dare Crypto Meister. Thank you so much, my good friend. I highly appreciate that. Thank you for the support. All right, and another thing that I want to do, and which we will do here in just a second, is we're going to look at the comments on yesterday's video. And I kind of fell off on doing this, but we're going to look at the commenters on yesterday's video stream 22 hours ago. So here's the video right here. Boom, I got it right there. And we're going to see who commented, and we're going to give a little bit back to the community. Right, with some crypto tipping. So random picker, and I'll do this here on the screen once I switch over, guys. Okay, this one works well. So having said that, let's switch over to the live scene. All right, so here we are in the live scene, guys. Let me just pop that camera up a little bit. Sorry, I was doing some... Sunday is the day where I like to clean my house, right? I like to vacuum everything. I like to wipe everything down. I like to dust everything. I like to clean off all my monitors. I'm pretty OCD about my Sunday cleaning. I organize the recycling. I take the trash out. Yeah, it's my little ritual. It usually takes me about 2 hours to just deep clean the house everywhere. So that's so I think I bumped the camera. All right. So anyways, we're gonna go over to yesterday's video, and we're gonna copy the URL and come over here and paste that URL and get. This video has comments disabled. Comments are not disabled. Why are comments disabled? Give it a refresh. Interesting. Try a different one. Oh, that one worked. Okay. Randomly pick winner. Bob the Builder. Paul, my good friend. Hey, brother. Paul, my friend, get a hold of me in the Discord. I believe yes, I know your Discord handle, so just get a hold of me, man, and I will tip you some crypto. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And if you guys would like to get some crypto, then just leave a comment. Doesn't cost you anything. Just leave a comment at the end of the video. Freddie Veer Finger, Freddie Four Fingers. Thank you so much for the, he wins every time. I don't think he's ever won anything. Thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend Fetty. All right, so here we are on the live scene. Here we are at BTC USD. Yes, so as I said last night, as we were ending the show, held my BTC USD short open, and just to give you guys an idea of, I had to look at my primary indicator over here, my primary exit that I can look at in periods of discretion to let me know, do I need to stay in this trade or do I not? Obviously, bypassing Minx as an early exit. Why? It's very sensitive. Using Minx as an early exit indicator is going to be fantastic. It's generally what I introduce people to. However, it is very sensitive, right? So if you do not want to deal, now let's walk this down a little bit. Let's deduce this now. Almost always, if you just follow your strategy, you're going to do much better than subjectively choosing when to enter and exit a trade. The entire reason I developed PTP in the first place, and the entire way that I trade, is to avoid any and all situations in which I have to think about a chart for longer than 5 seconds, okay? However, in cryptocurrency, you can apply a little discretion to your Bitcoin position. Why can you do that? Because Bitcoin is going to ripple out into every other asset that you trade. If you are trading an altcoin to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin sneezes, that altcoin is going to move up or down. If you're trading an alt to USDT, if Bitcoin to USD sneezes, that alt USDT is going to make a move. So it's very important to determine to always start your evening scan with what is going on with Bitcoin, because that is something that can influence what you're going to do later on. Now, for most of the people that are trading PTP right now, you're just going to take the signals that your system is giving you, and overall, you're doing quite well, right? Because when we come in, we get something that works very well to start off with. And then over time, we add layers of nuance so that we have, in the end, a system that works for us in almost every market condition, to be quite honest, and gives you the right direction to go in all places and time. And that's exactly what we want. We want exactly a strategy that it takes us no intuition to be able to trade. No subjectivity. You look at the chart, either something is true or it is not true, okay? So, anyways, held my BTC and Ethereum USD short open last night, and now down below my break-even level. So I entered my short on the close of this candle. Price pulled back up. Minx actually gave the early exit on this candle right here, held that open. Why? Because the primary, the exit indicator that I had displayed on last night's stream wasn't triggering either. Did trigger on the close of yesterday's candle. So I pulled up the one exit indicator that I do use that is my last resort. Had that exit indicator told me to exit, I would have been out of my trade, and I might be saying something different on the stream. Not in as far as how I feel about the trade. Obviously, it's very nice to be in a profitable trade. I think that this is going to continue to be a profitable trade. Sometimes in cryptocurrency and trading in general, you're not always going to capture every single movement. So the idea that everybody has to be, that any professional trader, that any good trader ever needs to be right about a confluence of events is ridiculous. But the entire concept is utilizing your strategy the way that you've developed it to give you indications of exactly what to do. A strategy that you don't argue with. You are not smarter than the system that you will put together. And that is, I think, the failure of most traders. This is why a preponderance of traders fail in the market, is because, and you can all sympathize with this. I know you all can. It is that concept, it is that feeling of staring at a chart and wondering to yourself, often for long periods of time, should I exit this trade or should I stay in this trade? Or should I buy this asset or should I not buy this asset? Often individuals will spend a lot of time kind of hemming and hawing and looking at the chart and wondering and maybe standing up and taking a walk. I've been there. I've absolutely been there. I know exactly what it feels like. And that's why I developed the way that I trade in the first place, to remove all of that. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever I would decide to do or not do was the opposite of what I should have done, right? It just seems to be the way that it works. The more brain power that you put into a trade, beyond developing the strategy in the first place, often is very counterproductive. Now, that might seem counterintuitive. However, we have to remember one basic statistic to hopefully make this make more sense to the uninitiated. The idea is any single trade has a 50-50 chance of hitting your take profit or your stop loss first. It is a completely binary option. It is Boolean, Okay. There is no amount of additional analysis. There is no amount of extra charts that you can look at. There is no amount of sentiment data, nay, even insider information that will give you in advance any added certainty that has any validity of your trade being more successful or unsuccessful. The only thing that you can do is analyze a series of trades over time to determine your profitability, to determine your profit factor, to determine your maximum drawdown, and to determine your overall net profit. And those are the numbers, those are the statistics that a successful trading strategy has to be based off of. It is going to be your average performance over time. It is not going to be any individual result on any one single trade. And again, that is a psychological failure of many traders, is because they just put too much emphasis on any one individual trade, especially when they tie their ego up into the trade, because they feel that because I took this trade, I have now injected my ego or my analysis or my idea, especially if it was a subjective price analysis type of trade, for example, right? Where somebody analyzed price action and they said, okay, well, because of this, because I see this happening over here, or because I see this pattern emerging, I feel that it is likely that price is going to do this. And then if price doesn't do that, somebody can honestly feel, generally individuals feel stupid, right? Generally individuals can feel stupid. And Cosby's Fatherhood is a good book, man. Is a good book. So anyways, as I was saying, and as I say frequently, don't invest your ego into any one individual trade ever. Always remove your ego as fully as possible from trading, and spend all that time into analyzing the statistics of your trading ability. Doublethink22, thank you so much for the Prime subscription over there, brother. Welcome to the community, man. Much love. Let's get a shout out, man. Let's get some sub love in the chat. I'm going to throw those hands up. Boom. Throwing those hands up for you, buddy. Thank you so much. All right, yay for a dump. All right, so obviously my BTC and Ethereum positions are now in profit. We'll see how this develops over the rest of the day. Now, we're not getting actually a signal to do anything were you not in a position yet. The first signal that we got for the short signal was on the close of the 3rd of June candle, 2019, obviously, failure of our Lord. Price did retrace for 3 days back to reject from the baseline, so just your classic re-pull back to a level of demand that is now turned into a level of supply. So it was just a classic support and resistance flip. And as we've said many times, there's only two types of reversals that we're allowed to trade. The first type of reversal that we're allowed to trade is whichever side of the baseline that we are on, we are allowed to take reversal trades by setting a limit order at the baseline. Now, is this going to work every single time? No, it's not. That's why you do have to manage risk, and we also have our take profit and stop, our stop and target system pursuant with those entries as well. We use the exact same thing. We use Quadriga ATR and also Quadriga QPS, which I don't believe that I have on this chart because this is my primary Bitcoin chart. We're going to actually have to go over here to this chart to see Quadriga QPS, which is the position size indicator that I made yesterday and published. I actually made a slight adjustment to it, so now we can actually select the exchange that we want to pull Bitcoin's price data through. And so far, because of the way that the security feature works in TradingView, I can't seem to get around having to be 2 candles to the right at a minimum, or just in general, anywhere over to the right for it to display accurate data. If you start moving back, it's going to go back 2 candles. So I haven't quite figured out how to fix that yet. Have I put the time and necessary energy into fixing it out? It's probably quite a simple fix, but it's working quite well, as long as your cursor and crosshair is over here. So what I'm going to eventually do is I'm going to actually change QPS to being a line chart, and underneath, not a non-overlay indicator. I'm going to actually have it below the chart so that you can just see your line, for example, of what your position size in USD should be and what your position size in Bitcoin should be. And then I'm going to take the data that's currently in QPS that displays in the data window and just move that up to Quadriga ATR. I've got that request from a lot of the guys in the group, or a lot of the guys, or they have to be people in the group, because they don't want to have too many indicators on their chart, which I completely understand. In fact, we don't want 19 indicators on our chart. We just want enough indicators to give us the correct amount of data. It goes on eBay for 40 to 50 bucks signed. Hey man, you just made a mint, dude. All right. You guys, hey mods, you do not have to hide somebody if they cuss. It's all right. We're all adults here. The difference between saying, man, this fucking sucks, and fuck you, you left-wing cuck. All right? A little discretion, guys. Let's see here. Am I sure that I was not the inspiration behind Megamind? I haven't seen that movie, but I think I'm familiar with it. Floydie, what's going on over there on DLive, man? Hashtag rigged. All right. So, anyways, let's go back to Bitcoin and let's start off our analysis, guys. And then we're going to talk about some news. Then we're going to look at Forex. We're going to look at traditional markets, precious metals, and then we're going to start into our evening scan. I give you guys a little bit of an update. I'm kind of looking at where everything is. And it seems on the preponderance of trades that I've had open for about 4 to 5 days, most of them have hit my first take profit target and come back. We're going to see if my reversal indicator is signaling on them as well, my indicator to get out, or at least the one that I'm going to display on stream. I have my other one over here. I've already done my analysis, so I've already done a preemptive daily scan, so I'm already familiar with where my indicator is as far as where price currently is. So unless there's an asset that I'm in that significantly does something different as far as price action goes over the next hour and 40 minutes, then I already know exactly what I'm going to do here in about an hour. So it seems likely that I'm probably, we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Don't need anybody front running me in the market. So let's head over to Bitcoin, which is where we're at. And so we don't have any signal on the daily to do anything yet. If we look at Wadatar Explosion, if we were using Wadatar Explosion as an initiator, let's look at where Wadatar Explosion would have gotten us into trades. Wadatar Explosion would have gotten us into the trade, the exact same candle as Minx did, but Wadatar Explosion would have also gotten us into this trade, would have told us to take a short on this trade right here. And in fact, we have to remember, that a bar closing below the explosion level, if you are using Minx, is going to be an early exit sign, right? So, for example, if you enter, let's say, for example, that you had entered into this short on Wadatar Explosion. Now, that's not actually a valid short signal. Why? Because we have a falling explosion level. The explosion level needs to be rising, as indicated. Floyd says, "No mods here. I can swear." Well, and I was just going to ask you to be a mod. Gosh darn it, man. Let's see here. We need a rising explosion level before we can take a short position. So there's no short to be taken here properly trading Wadatar Explosion, at least on the daily time frame, as we can see it right here. So, as we said, Wadatar gave the exact same signal on the 3rd of June, but Wadatar Explosion also gave you a signal right here on the 7th of June as well, which would have been a great trade. So, what are we talking about for an early exit signal with Wadatar Explosion? That would be a bar, whether it's red or green, closing below the explosion level. So let's find a good example of that over here. Here is a good example of a Wadatar trade just using the Wadatar feature. And again, if you guys don't have Wadatar Explosion on your chart, that is a free indicator that you guys can go use. Just search for Kraken Crypto Wadatar Explosion on TradingView. Or you can go to indicators.krakencryptocurrency.com. Shout out to a lot of the people who have helped me develop that indicator, Lazy Bear for giving me the original idea, and Esmalal for doing some additional work as well. I just took what other great people had already done, and I, in my opinion, improved the indicator as it already is. If I'm going to look at Forex, do the Kiwi Euro or the Kiwi Swissy? All right. Yeah, sure, man. Write that down under requests. Do I see 7,400 as a key level of support? I do not. The only key level of support that I have identified, and we can talk about price action, but let's take a gander here. Let's see where our daily 55 exponential moving average is coming in at. That's going to be our secondary baseline. It's coming in at 70.48. coming in at 70.48. However, the levels that I've been looking at for quite a while are over here on the weekly chart. And those levels are still coming in at 65.20 and 57.83. This is exactly what happened the last time we entered into a bullish market in Bitcoin. We had the 1355 weekly moving average cross under that occurred back in September of 2014 and really heralded in the worst and deepest extent of the bear market that occurred there. And it wasn't until price closed back over the 55 weekly exponential moving average and we got the weekly 1355 moving average cross over that price went on bullish expansion for 4 weeks, petered out, pulled back down on a significant pullback to the weekly 13, consolidated, and for the most part held that. And pretty much ever since then was just full-on fledged bull market. We saw the exact same thing. We have overall consolidation. Then we have the 1355 weekly average moving crossover back in August of 2018, which again foreshadowed the furthest and deepest extent of the bear market from 2018-2019. Pushed us down, obviously falling down in November where we consolidated, and then price began breaking the 13. Had a very nice bullish week. Once we closed the weekly above the 13 exponential moving average, we had a rapid bullish expansion to the 55. Consolidated for about 4 weeks, didn't really do anything, and then broke above. And ever since we broke above, prices just skyrocketed. Again, having about 4 weeks of bullish expansion, and then a pullback back to the weekly 13, potentially even the 55 we could see happen. And then again, those levels hold, and then we are in a confirmed bull market, right? We're still on the first initial rally out of the bull market. We haven't seen the bears take back hold. And even though I've been very bullish and taking trades to the upside, while the daily trend was bullish, thanks James Allen for the subscription over there on YouTube, and Mike1123, as well as Gervais Attic. We don't trade reversals against the trend. Well, now that the trend is bearish, now that the daily trend is bearish, denoted by price's relationship to where it is in relation to the baseline, well, now we're only going to be taking trades to the downside. And when that changes, when price is above the daily baseline, then we'll be taking trades to the upside. Did I mute my mic or did I upgrade my keyboard? Both. And it is a weekend, so let's get a few tunes going on, guys. Interesting. All right, so back on the daily, let's go down to the lower time frames. As we talked about, the 12-hour did call a short at the close of yesterday's candle at 1900. That's obviously 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time where I trade from. So that's the close of the daily candle, and that's when I do, around that time is where I do put on positions. Either an hour prior or an hour after is the only window that I traded on the daily time frame. That did signal a continuation short, as you can see on, not on Scott's chart, but on my chart. So we do get that continuation short on Minx right there on the close of that candle, and that would have been a fantastic trade. Let's check with Quadrigo and see how our profits would be going along so far. Plotting for shorts, we would have already hit take profit 1, meaning our stop loss is break even. We would be out of that position 50%, and we are looking for additional targets at 73, 38, and 70.55. That 70.55 is congruent with that daily 55 period moving average. All right, so let's take those off and let's continue to go down and do our scan. 12-hour signaled a short, 8-hour signaled a short on this candle right here. 6-hour signaled a short, did not signal a short. 4-hour signaled a continuation short right here. 3-hour signaled a continuation short. Let's see, the hourly signaled a continuation short now. The hourly is just now signaling a continuation short, but did give us our initial short here. We could have taken it on this candle right here. Most likely, most of us would have taken it on this candle right here after volume confirms as well. But if we look closely, we see the volume and WADA do confirm it on that candle as well. So nothing to do. I'm going to hold my short open and let this play out exactly however it's going to play out. My take profit targets remain exactly the same. My stop loss remains exactly the same. Never the most comfortable position to sit in, obviously, when you're sitting through about 3 days of drawdown, and then portions of your algorithm are telling you to take a loss, basically, just as price is starting to return in your favor. But I'm glad that I did, and I didn't. Here's the thing. If my full algorithm would have told me to exit the trade, I would have exited the trade, and I wouldn't feel any differently sitting here talking to you today or talking to myself about my trades or looking at what I'm going to be doing for my trading now, getting ready for the week, getting ready for the next week to come up. It would just be absolutely the same. It's completely binary. And it comes down to this, guys. You win some and you lose some. Floyd says, this is like having a one-on-one being here alone. Thanks, mate. No problem, man. Thanks for supporting us over there on D-Love, brother. Right on Dice says, do they work on phones as well? What do you mean, man? Not tree fitty? Throwing up that dead mouse, guys. Okay. So nothing to do as far as Bitcoin is signaling now, except for hold short positions open. I'm not advising anybody to open up a short now. Is it going to be, again, I'm in a short, but you're past your window of opportunity. So your risk to reward is asymmetric. There's no signal right now. Now, we will most likely be getting a short signal on Minx tomorrow, to be quite honest. So we don't jump the gun. We don't predict the market. We don't predict what our indicators will do. It will just all depend on what our indicators look like tomorrow. But I will point that out for the sake of sustainability. Ethereum obviously having more volatility to the downside and signaling a continuation short on the close of this candle. We do not need volume to confirm a continuation short. However, Wada Atar is rising above the explosion level. We did get a primary entry into a short yesterday. How we've been using Wada Atar as an initiator. We've gone over this many times. There are going to be times when Minx gets you in. There are going to be times when Wada Atar gets you in. Now, Wada Atar will typically get you into more trades, but you do have to do more filtering if you want to be exiting trades. This one is my Ligne, Mailigne is the name of the artist, and Electric Raid is the name of the song. This would be my if I was a WWE professional wrestler, this would be my walk into the stage music. All right, so anyways, entered into my primary short here, held the trade open throughout this. Last night, the indicator that I was displaying on the stream was signaling short. I had to look at my primary indicator, and nothing happened. All right, so let's go down to... Go down to the 12-hour. 12-hour did signal a continuation short on the close of this candle right here. Eight-hour signaled one here. Nothing to do right now. I think you would have most likely hit most of your profit targets on that 8. Not the last one yet, but you've hit 2 of 3. Hit 2 of 3 take profit targets now. Can I put indicators on my phone? Yeah, if you have TradingView on your phone. Yeah, TradingView has a nice mobile app now. Let's see, nothing on the 6-hour. There was a short signal right here. 4-hour gave you a continuation short at 7 o'clock this morning. 3-hour time frame gave you one at 7 o'clock this morning as well. Let's see, the hourly is giving you a continuation short right now. That's not a trade I would take. I might. I don't have to worry about that though because it's not my time frame. 30-minute gave you a nice continuation short right here as well. 30 minutes actually been catching this movement pretty well. 30-minute gave you the primary short signal at 7 o'clock this morning, had you in a very good trade here, and then gave you another continuation short here. You had to suffer some drawdown, but you got another continuation short here, basically back at your break even, and then you caught the move. So even if you took an L on this trade, you've got one great trade and then another great trade right here. Okay. So nothing to do right now as far as BTC and Ethereum are concerned. The short is the position to be in, and by denote of the fact that we are below the baseline anyways. I never bought my Bitcoin back. I am still... let me clarify exactly what I mean by that. So the funds that I have on ByBit and the funds that I have on BitMEX and the funds that I have on Deribit are not sold. I don't move my Bitcoin off of a leveraged exchange to sell into USD and then come back later on. They're in a short, right? They're in a perpetual 1x short. Any funds that I don't have in an active trade, all my funds that I have on, not the funds that I have, but the Bitcoin that I have on ByBit is all positioned into a full risk trade. The excess funds are on different exchanges in a 1x short. And I want to give a shout out to one of the members in the group. His solution to this that I've shared with people with questions, because he did come up with a very elegant solution, is this individual left enough on ByBit to take 2 full risk trades on each asset that you can trade on ByBit. So he left enough for 2 Bitcoin positions, enough for 2 ZERP positions, enough for 2 EOS positions, and enough for 2 Ethereum positions. And if he wasn't in an active position, just as I am, he's in a 1x short, and all the excess funds are in Tether or in USD. Now, the majority of the funds that I moved off of ByBit, because I'm not going to have unprotected funds on there, I'll move them back once I'm done with my full risk trade. I'll just go back into 1x short. I moved over to Deribit and BitMEX to 1x short them on that exchange. The funds that I have on Binance are in USDT. The funds that I have on Coinbase are in USD. The little bit of funds that I've had on Bittrex for some reason, are in USD. As Bittrex, you can actually sell the USD. So that is the extent of where all my positions are. Never moved back into Bitcoin from USDT or USD ever since I moved out of USD and USDT on the close. This is Ethereum's chart, but I believe it's the exact same date. The Bitstamp chart. Yeah, ever since I moved out on the 2nd of June. I've been out of Bitcoin since then, except for the funds that I have on ByBit. It was in a 1x short, and then I opened up a full risk short, transferred my funds to a different exchange to 1x short unprotected funds on the 3rd. All right, cool. So no reason to buy the Bitcoin back until we do close back above the baseline. No reason to look for any long position until we close back above the baseline. We're trend following traders. We don't take trades to the upside when the trend is bearish, and the trend is bearish, has been bearish since the 3rd of June, 2019. Foul year of our Lord. All right, so it is 5:36. We got plenty of time. Alla Pinsnyder, what's going on, man? Minx is a custom indicator. Quadrigo is a custom indicator. Quadrigo position sizing, which tells you what position size you should take, is a custom indicator. Everything else on the screen is also a custom indicator, but the moving average script that I have on the screen, Wadatar explosion that I have on the screen, all of that is available to use absolutely for free. Just go to indicators.krakencryptocurrency.com and you can use Wadatar explosion that I've written. You can use CCEMA that I've written. You can use my Ichimoku script. I think that's it. Yeah, the TradingView mobile app is pretty damn good if you've got an okay phone, but it's not perfect, right? It's okay in a pinch. James Allen and WMM007 007 Thank you so much for the subscriptions over there on YouTube. Light Rainy asks for Steam BTC. Gotcha. If Bitcoin bounces back up, where's a good position to close shorts or to place a stop loss? That needs to be determined based on where you actually entered into the market. Is there any chance that time transformation goes public? I doubt it. That was the indicator that I used for a long time. I mean, to be quite honest, yeah, but probably not for quite a while. There's also not, most individuals that are doing PTP are going to be utilizing Minx because it actually tests a little bit better. But as far as reversals go, because we still have people in the group who trade reversals, again, we have the whole, we have whole different groups of people in the group who trade their own certain ways. Everybody generally trades PTP for their overarching daily structure because it's the most successful and profitable. But we have more active day traders in our group. In fact, we have analysts on our team that do day trading. So, and a lot of them use time transformation. Not complaining, it's free. Are we going to test 8K and then go down even further? I would be surprised if we did that. Could happen. Am I prioritizing USDT pairs on Binance? Actually, conversely, you're going to find that BTC... So this is kind of odd. When price is above the baseline, when BTC to USD is above the baseline, USDT pairs do better than BTC pairs on average. When price is below the baseline, BTC pairs do better than USDT pairs on average. So yeah, I still go through every single pair. But we want to be a little bit more discerning, because when Bitcoin is bullish, we have a higher probability for all our other coins to successfully complete if we're taking a trade to the upside, right? Similarly, when Bitcoin is below the daily baseline and things are looking bearish for Bitcoin, then we actually have to be a little bit more discerning on what trades we take. We might want to add, and again, we're going to get into this in the next module, we want to add an additional layer, actually 2 additional layers of filters to our trade. Now, is this necessary to start off with? No. You just do PTP as we know it right now, you're going to do much better than just about anybody out there trading the market. But there are additional filters that we're going to put onto our trades at certain points in time to help reduce our losses even more, because we win when we don't lose. Jay Kreutzer, what's going on, brother? He says, what's going on, Justin? Hope you're having a wonderful day, man. I sure am. Hit a couple of take profit ones today, so life is good. Thanks for all the good karma you throw out there for us. Thank you, man. Good to hear that, brother. Ezra says, imagine holding anything other than Bitcoin. Welcome to my life, man. Welcome to my life. Okay, so we've looked at Bitcoin. We've looked at Ethereum. Let's go over here and look at the long-term charts, and then I want to talk about some news, and then we're going to take a break probably, and then we're going to come back. We're going to look at requests, we're going to look at Forex, precious metals, and we're going to go into the daily scan. All right, so let's go look at CME futures. Good tune, man. Sorry. All right, so, all right. Going on to the 15-minute chart and looked how CME futures opened up today. Yeah. And that's how they opened up, guys. Gap down from 79.34 to 76.73. So 3.28% gap to the downside. Everybody's going to be screaming for a reversal gap fill on this trade before price continues down. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. But you know what can also happen? It can just keep going down. Doesn't have to gap fill. Now, I will say this. Bitcoin does seem to be quite efficient at returning and filling its gaps fairly quickly, but not always directly on the exact same candle. For example, if we look here, when price gapped from 62.83 up to, what did this candle open up at? 71.50. It took 5 days, 4 days, excuse me, for us to wick down and close that gap, right? Similarly, when we gapped up from, what did this candle close at? 81.40. And then we opened up at 86.60, so we gapped up $500. It took us another 4 days to pull down and fill that gap. And there are gaps that have not been filled. All right? There are gaps that have not been filled. But I will say this, being honest, Bitcoin is generally quite efficient at filling gaps. Bitcoin is generally quite efficient at filling gaps. But price is bearish. Price closed below the baseline. We backtested and rejected off of the baseline again. That is typically quite bearish. I would expect us, if I were using my intuition as a trader, if I was using my intuition as a trader, I would say that it is much more likely that Bitcoin's price continues to move down in this scenario than for us to have yet another pullback, right? Do I hold VeChain to get daily VThor? No, I do not. There is not a single coin that I hold. I'll give you a list. There are only, and there's one coin that I'm not going to mention, but the guys in the Primo know what coin that is. There is only Bitcoin is all that I hold. Anything that I'm currently trading, I'm technically holding. I hold MMO Coin. I'm friends with the team. They're great guys. I like their project. Good people. They're partners of the show. Spectre Security Coin. Good people. Partners of the show. I support their project. X42 Protocol. Partners of the show. I support their project. Good guys. Know the whole team. That's it. I didn't mean to say that so aggressively. Like, never think that I think anybody is bad for holding anything that is not just Bitcoin. But I don't do that. I just don't do that. I've never felt the need or desire. I guess I don't know what it is, right? Like everybody else, it seems not everybody else. Like some people like agree with me, and I've met those people. But there is a big preponderance of people involved in cryptocurrency who are like genuinely excited about altcoin projects, and I'm not. I'm really not. Right? I approach cryptocurrency from a Bitcoin fundamental position. I think that the most important thing for us to do is remove the power of governments and remove the power of central banks and invest power back into individuals. And I think that by having a decentralized currency, we can do that. Everything else, Jaguar partnerships and a global computer or identity on the blockchain or houses on the blockchain, all that stuff is designed and conceptualized in a current economic system that we already are in and that Bitcoin is designed to change, right? So none of that stuff really excites me. I mean, what really gets my goat, what really excites me is Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin's idea of decentralizing and creating a new world reserve currency. That really, really excites me. And I don't see anything else that purports to do that wants to do that, or that it just gets me excited, man. And it's been like that ever since I started trading cryptocurrency back in 2016. Now, again, I could be absolutely wrong, right? I could be completely missing out on what the next Bitcoin is or the next coin, or like maybe I'm not seeing the forest for the trees and the Bitcoin thing's never going to really happen. We're never going to do that. And so Jaguar partnerships are what we should get really, really, really excited about. And, you know, all this AI and stuff, like, yeah, it's really, really cool, right? It's really cool. I don't slight anybody for doing that, but it's not my bag, man. I'm sorry. It's just not what I do. What's my thorn? What's my thorn? What are my thoughts on the Litecoin halving? Where do I move my stop loss to after my take profit one hits? To your break-even price. Says, what are you people talking about? Bitcoin is dumping, massive. There's not a savior here until 6,200. What about ZERP for fast and cheap cross-border payments? I mean, there's so ZERP does not hold the belt for fast and cheap cross-border payments. Just about any altcoin can do that. My main problem with ZERP is the way that they've conducted themselves. And the fact that they're centralized and they're not really honest about, their whole how we issue tokens and what our inflation model is over time is very, very fuzzy logic. And I don't really like that. ZERP is probably my least favorite cryptocurrency because you can do that with the Lightning Network right now. Faster and cheaper. The lag on YouTube is mental. What is she? Sorry, man. It is the most popular platform. Where is break-even price? Wherever you entered into the trade, man. Like whatever your entry price was. So okay, so we've been looking at Crypto cap here for a while. Crypto cap taking the same kind of dive as Bitcoin's price. Altcoin cap looking quite the same, actually looking a little bit worse. Let's go take a look over at longs, see what longs are doing. Longs are falling off today. Here's the daily chart. Again, same thing. Longs, we got a short signal on longs, which is typically going to tell you to be short. Giving us that signal on the second, actually a day before, we actually got a signal on our chart. So that's good. When your sentiment lines up in the direction that you know you should be trading, you can feel much more confident. This can even be a part of your discretionary position sizing. If sentiment to your favor in your direction is above or below your baseline. Similarly, looking at shorts, I would expect for them to be raring. No, they're not. They're consolidating. So people are scared. People are scared to short Bitcoin. So we've got about 26,547 open shorts and about 27,499 open longs. All right, so still more longs than shorts. Honestly, the longs to shorts ratio is roughly equal. And overall, we've just seen a continued drop off in the long shorts ratios since the 16th of May, 2019. GBTC. GBTC is going to gap down in the morning. Look where GBTC closed. Look where GBTC closed. Oh man, wish I had access to the pre-market session. Wish I had put in a short on the close of this candle, man. That's going to be a beautiful gap. BVol 24 hour is currently sitting below 3. So in my opinion, day trading is starting to become less profitable as the Bitcoin volatility starts to drop off. However, Bitcoin volatility obviously taking a nice little spike today because of that big move to the downside. Bitcoin dominance. All right, Bitcoin dominance is actually going to be giving us a long signal in the next couple of days, which is, for me, part of my discretionary position sizing with altcoins. When Bitcoin dominance is high, then my discretionary position sizing kicks in for altcoin trades. Tether dominance. This is another discretionary position sizing indicator that I use. We got the long signal on USDT dominance here, telling us to be basically telling us that Tether is going to rise in dominance and that altcoins are going to have difficulty moving forward. Now, we've gotten some really good altcoin trades throughout this period, and that's why we do our daily scan every single day. This is not a deterministic factor. This is a discretionary factor that we can apply to our position sizing. All right, going to the daily. S&P 500, of course, we got the long signal on the S&P back on the 5th of June, and we've continued to skyrocket ever since then, opening up very strongly. All right. And of course, open on a Wanda already for the pre-market hours. Going to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ as well, opening up and continuing on bullish knee ever since the long signal on the NASDAQ, which we got on the 6th of June. Dow Jones, same, got the long signal on the 6th of June and continuing. Dow has not, this is on TVC, so the Dow hasn't opened up for American markets. Let's go to our Forex charts here real quick. And we'll start off with those requests of the Kiwi Euro. All right. Kiwi Euro was along on the 2nd of June, 2019. Let's see, we did pretty good off of that and nothing to do right now. You could have taken that reversal trade at or the vicinity of the daily baseline right here. Most likely would not have gotten activated if you didn't actually have if you had your buy at the daily baseline, most likely. So there's nothing to do on the Kiwi Euro, man. The Kiwi Swissy. Let's see here. You could have discretionarily taken a long position on the 6th, and you're opening up pretty nicely now. Not really a whole lot to do with the Kiwi Swissy, man. Although I would be biased to the long side on the Kiwi. Euro dollar, he used to do pretty well. No exit signal yet. Got the long trade over here on the 2nd of June. Even got the pullback to the daily baseline here for a reversal trade on the 5th of June. Dollar yen consolidating below the baseline, nothing to do. Pound dollar, nothing to do on the pound dollar. Aussie dollar continues to perform very nicely. Again, we called this one on stream here on the 30th of May 2019. I believe we've hit all 3 of the take profit targets on that. Two of 3, sorry. The other one would have us up about 0.705. Not 0.075, sorry, 0.7053. Yeah, 0.7053. Sorry, I've been in crypto world too long. Dollar CAD continues to fall off the face of the planet, having a little bit of a pullback today. Again, we called for this short here, 3rd of June. Dollar Swissy falling off the face of the planet. Euro yen doing quite nicely, as we saw from the dollar yen. If we look at the euro dollar as well. Euro pound performing quite nicely. I mean, this is one of the best trades that a forex trader could have made all year long, is going long in the euro pound. Again, we got the long signal on the 8th of May, and multiple continuation long trades as well. In fact, getting a continuation long on the close of today's candle. So we'll look and see what the charts look like this evening at 5, on Monday at 5. Sorry. Kiwi dollar doing quite well. CAD dollar, I'm not seeing any long. That was the first trade that I saw. So guys, just that was the euro pound continuation long on today's candle. And euro yen was a long on yesterday's candle. Not on yesterday's, but on the 6th. Sorry. So on the week's close, CAD dollar nothing to do. Dollar Aussie short. Look at the USD yuan. We did get that long signal on the close of the 6th. The 9th is opening up on a little bit of a pullback. We're still within the entry area for a long on the dollar yuan. Pound CAD continuation short back here on the 3rd. Nothing to do now. Looking at Zao Gold, finally having a little bit of a pullback. Still above our qualifying line. Long signal right here, and took off quite nicely. Palladium. Palladium was, as I said, along over here on the 5th of June and doing okay so far. Hasn't really performed. Let's look at silver. Silver was along over here on the 2nd of June. We got that pullback on the next day, performing quite nicely. Rhodium commods, nothing. GLD. GLD was along back here on the 30th of May, and taking that baby up. Steam was so last night. When did I first hear of Bitcoin? In 2000 and in 2012, I do believe, when I first heard of it. And I bought my very first Bitcoin in March of 2016. All right, let's look at Steam. And then we're going to take a quick break, come back, do more requests, and do our daily scan. Well, as I said, called Steam last night. Good trade, guys. Anybody who took that, price ran up to 12.45%. Look at where the take profit targets would have been. You would have hit only one. You'd have only hit one take profit target. So let's take a gander here. 6.41%. So you would have probably got an average sell of about 3.5% on that trade. Not bad. Not bad for a day's work. Nice. I like it. All right. Oh, we got it. Some go over some news too. We got a whole bunch of news to go over. All right, Gabe. You have a good night, man. Light Rainy says, "Got take profit one." Awesome, man. Dances reluctantly. How much was Bitcoin in March of 2016? It's about $400. Eric Dobkin, good to see you, Mr. Wild. Hope you and yours are doing well. Thank you, man. All right, guys, so we're going to take a quick break so I can go refresh my water cup because it is empty. And when we come back, we're going to take requests. So if you guys got some more requests, let me know in the chat. We're going to start doing our evening scan, developing our game plan for the next week. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. I always feel like she's saying watching Fortnite right here. All right, guys. So, let's talk about this. All right, so the first thing that kind of came to my attention today is Bittrex blocking US customers from trading 32 different cryptocurrencies, including, much to a friend of mine's chagrin, Qdomin storage. All right. Now, we're going to talk about this in just a little bit. So doing the exact same thing that Binance is going to do, we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Now, why are they doing this? What is so special about these 32 cryptos? They were launched as an ICO. So why is Bittrex not allowing United States customers to trade these cryptocurrencies? Because the United States SEC has not made full, clear regulation on exactly whether or not a digital token that launched as an ICO is going to be considered a security. We don't have further clarification on that. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Cryptomeister asks for Walton. Yeah, sure, I got you, brother. BTC. The real Funkin' Floyd. ONT oozed. All right, man. So, now, as far as this article talks about, and as far as Bittrex said in their blog post, you are going to be able to continue to hold your funds on there. You're just not going to be able to trade them. So let's scroll down. This does a pretty good overview of this. After the change comes into effect, U.S. customers won't be able to buy or sell the selected coins, while all open orders involving said assets will be canceled. Some limited functionality concerning these assets will still be available to U.S. traders, and the coins will be transitioned to the Bittrex International platform. So they're still going to support the wallet, because your wallet is going to be tied up with their Bittrex International wallet, so you can still hold your coins on there. They're not going to be delisted, but you're not going to be able to trade them. All right, so this is basically the same thing that happens when you log into BitMEX without your VPN on, is what's going to happen. MJM Nick, man, thank you so much for the subscription over there with Twitch Prime, my good man. Let's get some sub love in the chat, guys. Throw those hands up. Thank you so much, my brother. Brian Anthony over there on Facebook asks for Matrix. Is that? Gotcha, man. If it's on TradingView, we'll look at it. All right, so. You know what I thought was really funny? Cointelegraph reporting this week that Bitcoin's trading volume hit a high on Coinbase, and then they're like, on May 12th. What the fuck, dude? Thanks for that information a month later. All right, so before we get into the Binance DEX information, which I really want to talk about a little bit, we're going to talk about Weiss Crypto Ratings downgrading EOS due to centralization concern. And I have a general concept of Weiss ratings, and that's that they're complete garbage. They're absolutely nothing but the funny pages as far as cryptocurrency is concerned. I know that Weiss is a respected institution, maybe, in traditional markets, but as far as cryptocurrency goes, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. So Weiss, they just have some of the worst ratings in history. Their methodology is unclear, and I have read over the literature on their methodology. Let us not forget that when Weiss first launched their ratings last year, they had Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin. It didn't have a favorable rating with them. I think it was a B or something like that. So it seems like EOS's Block 1 did little to spark overall community interest. There wasn't a huge outpouring of positive bullish sentiment from EOS, from the community, or from the investors, obviously, if the price is anything to say. I've been in an EOS short for a while. It's kind of been one of those like hovering around. Sometimes it's in profit, sometimes it's not in profit trades of mine, EOS M19 on BitMEX, but it is what it is. So just yet another reason why we don't trade fundamentals very often. Again, buy the rumor, sell the news tends to be the concern. But why did they do this? So according to them, it's because the blockchain has serious problems with centralization. Do you think? It's the exact same problem with ZERP? It's the exact same problem with potentially Cardano. So it's generally the problem with just about all of these cryptocurrencies is that, and it's the same problem with Ethereum in my opinion. If you have some kind of agency that can just push a button, any council, any group, any member, if you can just push a button and all of a sudden something has changed on the blockchain, that's not decentralized. That's not what we want. That's not going to form the basis of a strong world reserve currency. The strong world reserve currency needs to be decentralized. All these things can be really useful tools. There's nothing wrong with private blockchains. They can be quite efficient. Nobody, I think, wants to be using a decentralized server to host important data or resources on, especially for a private business. But when we're talking about a world currency, it's to be decentralized. And I do not believe that it's going to be EOS, Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. It's going to be Bitcoin. All right, so here we go. Binance DEX, navigating country-specific cryptocurrency trading restrictions. All right, so let me pull up my show notes here. And, all right, so Binance.org is geo-blocking individuals. Now, we talked about this a little bit before, but I want to talk more specifically about what that means. So I believe it is 29 countries, including the United States of America, who are going to be geo-blocked from accessing Binance.org. Now, there are some misconceptions about this because the Binance DEX itself, the decentralized exchange itself, is not geo-blocking, does not have the capacity to geo-block anybody because it is a decentralized blockchain, BNB blockchain. So, what this means is that it's not that if you're from the United States or any other prohibited country, you can't access the DEX. You can't access the DEX through the website, Binance.org, because that is going to be the interface. Now, you can still access the DEX by using certain wallets if you're from the United States. Coinami, Ledger Nano, Trust Wallet, Atomic Wallet. You can still access the wallet, or you can still access the DEX and purchase and sell coins from the DEX, right? You can still interface with the DEX from some of these wallets, but you just cannot go to Binance.org and access the DEX itself. The DEX, so let me just walk that back, make sure my words are very specific. You can't go to Binance.org and access the web interface with the Binance DEX to execute trades. But you can access the DEX itself with one of these wallets. Or you can use what CZ is recommending, CZ himself, the CEO of Binance, and use a VPN, virtual private network. Now, I am a huge proponent of VPNs. I use a VPN every moment that I'm online, period, because I do think the digital security is important, and having a VPN is just one of those basic things that you can do to better protect your security. There's lots of other things that I do as well. For example, browser segregation. I use certain browsers for accessing personal data, for checking email, for watching YouTube, for example. I use certain browsers and certain profiles for only trading. I use certain browsers and certain profiles for only charting. I use certain browsers or certain profiles only for doing business activities with cracking cryptocurrency. All right, so that's just an important thing. I use different screen resolutions. I use different screens for all of those things as well. I use different operating systems for those things. I have a dedicated computer that I only trade off of using a certain profile and using a certain browser. I use Tor for certain things. I use Brave browser mostly for most things. I do use Chrome for some other things. These are just simple things that you can do. I don't mix digitally, to the best of my ability, anything that I do for business with anything that I do personally, and I don't mix anything that I do for trading that I do with either of the two above, okay? This is fairly simple to do, but you do have to set your system up correctly from the ground up, and using a VPN across all my systems, across all my boxes, helps me do that as well. You guys know I use Windscribe VPN. There is a link down in the description down below. Windscribe VPN will actually let you try out their platform with that link or they'll give you some bandwidth for free just to test it out. But I've used Windscribe for longer than I can count. They support anonymity. They support cryptocurrency. In fact, you can sign up for an anonymous, I recommend, Proton Mail account to get a Windscribe account and pay with cryptocurrency. You can remain completely anonymous. And it's not like it's not like you'd be doing anything wrong, right? Being anonymous and being secretive about your online identity or being secretive about your privacy is just the way that it is nowadays. Every piece of data that you put out there on the internet can be used and manipulated and used against your advantage by anybody out there that's a malicious actor. So you have to do the best in your power to protect your digital footprint, to control what kind of footprints you're actually putting out there. Do I recommend to trade with Prime XBT? I do not. I only trade on Binance, BitMEX, ByBit, and Deribit. Those are the only exchanges I trade on. Okay, now, but we've got a kind of two-sided coin on this because because CZ himself came out in a tweet and said using a VPN is a necessity, not an option. But if we look closely at the Binance DEX terms of service, it actually says, and I quote, Cointelegraph's author quoting, let's go down here and find this real quick. All right, terms of service, Binance DEX, Article 6.8 and 6.9 under Section 6, which deal with prohibited users, reads, quote, you may not, where you are a resident or national of a prohibited jurisdiction or a U.S. person, access the site or any services using any virtual private network, proxy service, or any other third-party service network or product with the intent of disguising your IP address or location. Now, it does not go on to say in the terms of service what the punishment is if you attempt to bypass such rule, if you do use a VPN. Most likely nothing. So, for those of you who are familiar with trading on BitMEX, who are from the United States or from any other prohibited country that can't access BitMEX, here's what actually happens when you log on to BitMEX without your VPN. You get a love letter. It says, hey, dumbass, you logged in without your VPN on. You're making us look bad. You know those Americans are jerks. We're going to need you to take your funds off. If you don't take your funds off within a week, and we are warning you to take your funds off within a week, they even send you an email, we're going to take your money. So what do most people do? They take their funds off. They remember to turn their VPN on or always have it running in the background, and they create a new BitMEX account, right? Exact same thing for almost all of these exchanges. And I'm fairly confident that's exactly what's going to happen with Binance. The fact that they don't have it clearly stated exactly what they're going to do with their terms of service doesn't really surprise me. I don't think that's shady or scary. BitMEX didn't either for quite a long time. It's just how they do things in practice, right? Binance is going to do what is going to be best for their use case, and getting Americans in to utilize their platform and sidestepping regulations is what they're going to do. There's just too much liquidity that they do not want to bypass. I think the largest amount of trading volume on Binance comes from American traders. The largest amount of volume in all cryptocurrency comes from American traders. So they're going to do anything they can to cater to American traders while keeping themselves as best as they can out of the loop. And this is exactly why you see Bittrex moving toward Bittrex International anyways, because international markets have the least amount of regulatory uncertainty and they offer the most opportunities for finance and growth. So let's go over this as well. What about the terms of, okay, here we go. So now I like this article so far, but then when we get down here, they throw up, in my opinion, a red herring, or it's fear. It says, examining the terms of service document also throws up some other issues, chief of which lies in Article 2, quote, liquidity and listing risk under the risk disclosure portion. This particular portion of the terms of service reads, markets for digital tokens have varying degrees of liquidity. Some are quite liquid while others may be thinner. Thin markets can amplify volatility. There is never a guarantee that there will be an active market for one to sell, buy, or trade digital tokens or products derived from or ancillary to them. Furthermore, any markets for tokens may abruptly appear and vanish. Binance makes no representations or warranties about whether a digital token that may be traded on or through the site may be traded on or through the site at any point in the future, if at all. Any digital token is subject to delisting without notice or consent. Now, the author of this article goes on to say that, well, the fact that tokens can be delisted without notice or consent, such a proviso hardly signals decentralization and calls into question the validity of the assertion that the Binance DEX is truly decentralized. No, of course it's not. It is not 100% decentralized. I don't know why you would. Now, let me be very cautious with how I speak about this. I was going to say, I don't know why you would want such a thing. Let me take that back. I do completely understand why you would want such a thing. Okay? I can understand the desire to have a fully decentralized exchange, and I fully support any and all methods to do that. Am I probably going to trade on that exchange? Probably not, because I want somebody that gives a damn about liquidity, about what's best for the space, about what's best for a trader, to actually be able to pull the trigger and make some executive decisions, all right? So for example, if there is a coin that a few people really, really like, and they're gonna just get all up in arms if their coin gets delisted. By the way, not that their funds are stolen, not that the coin is destroyed. The blockchain still works for that coin, should be, right? Unless the coin itself does something horrendous and screws up their own project. But just because an exchange, which is a third-party entity in the first place that really only traders or investors care about, by the way, just because they're going to choose to list or delist a token, that's the exchange's right. That is up to the exchange. And I feel that Binance has made pretty good decisions so far about what they list and what they don't list. I fully supported them delisting BSV. I don't really give two goddams about all the BSV people running around that got upset about that. If there is true, genuine value in your platform on its own, you don't need Binance's help to step up. And anybody that says that Binance should not have the kind of power to issue decrees like that or whatever, you guys go out and create your own exchange. You guys go grind and hustle as hard as Binance did. Because I remember when Binance first started and everybody thought it was a joke. And then Binance stuck it out, ground it out, and made something better than anybody else had. And that's why they are who they are today, all right? This is capitalism. You get by on the sweat of your own brow. So if the BSV people really don't like that, go out and make your own exchange. You guys seem to think that you have the brain power and the capability to do so. IT for everyone. Thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, my good friend. So, just to bring that down, to really explain what that means in plain English, what Binance's terms of service there is really saying is that it's not their responsibility to provide liquidity to a market or to cater to your favorite coin. So they're basically saying, hey, we're going to list tokens so you guys can trade them. But if you guys don't trade them, or if your coin sucks, we're going to reserve the right to delist your token, as they should. Actually, as they should. Of course, they're going to reserve the right to delist tokens. Why would they not? To protect them, they're going to want to protect themselves from negative publicity, from negative fraud, from self-interest groups. They're going to take the steps that they think are in their best interest to themselves and also to the space in general, which one would assume would be good for crypto for Binance. Binance is going to take the steps that they think is going to be best for cryptocurrency in general, at least as far as their market share, as their profitability is relied. And they're going to take the steps that protect Binance's self-interest. And that's what we want. That's what we want an agency to do that we're all partaking of and doing business on. I want Binance to be making decisions that are in Binance's best interest because that benefits me because I'm trading on Binance. I don't want Binance to go down. I want ByBit to make decisions that are in ByBit's best interest and in cryptocurrency's best interest because I trade on ByBit. And if the exchanges go down, I got to find somewhere different to trade. If Binance and ByBit go down and BitMEX goes down, I'm probably going to have to go back to trading Forex full time because I'm not going to go trade on Bitfinex. I'm not going to go trade on Coinbase. There's not enough liquidity there. Of course, something could change. I think if those exchanges go down, we might see a massive rise of Coinbase volatility, but they've had problems with their matching engine lately, at least over the last few weeks as far as I'm aware. So no platform that launches any kind of exchange is going to give up the right to delist a token. This isn't scary. It's common sense. Part of creating something that others will use is inheriting the responsibility to make tough decisions and judgment calls. You can't make everyone happy. If it's better for Binance to delist one token while propping up another, they're going to do that, and I want them to do that. So anyone in their position would. Again, they're going to act in accordance with whatever serves their own interest. And as long as I'm trading on Binance, that's what I want them to do. And as I said with the Bittrex thing, why is Binance geo-blocking individuals? It's because of the SEC. It's because the SEC has not made clear its regulation on whether anything that launched with an ICO is going to be a security. And guess what BNB did? So, let's see here. I guess that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. But I would love to hear you guys' comments. All right, that's my thoughts and my take on this whole situation with the Binance Dex geo-blocking, what's actually going on, and how it's most likely going to work in actual reality. So just to make that a little bit more distilled, here's what's going to happen. People are going to use VPNs to access Binance Dex, and they're going to trade on Binance Dex. And if you log in without your VPN, Binance is going to send you a love letter, most likely. That's what's going to happen. You're going to take your funds off. You're going to remember to turn your VPN on. You're going to go find Windscribe, which has an app that you actually have on your computer and which works all the time. Description down in the link below. And then you're going to create a new account and you're going to put your funds back on Binance Dex and you're going to continue to trade. That's how it's going to go down. All right. I'd be highly surprised if it didn't go down like that. The idea that Binance is going to lock people's funds, I highly doubt that. What's the best advice platform to trade cryptocurrency? I'm a newbie here. I trade on ByBit and Binance. Most people are going to want to start on Binance. I think that ByBit, if you start off with the right ByBit, you're going to immediately have access to leverage and only 4 assets to trade. That's where I do the majority of my trading. Binance, you're going to have access to way more coins and no leverage. And sometimes the mass options can actually be more confusing than helpful. But those are the platforms that I recommend. There's links down in the description if you'd like to support the channel. They also save you on trading fees as well, my friend. All right, so that's enough about the news. Let's go take a look at these 2 requests, and then we're going to start our scan. Again, I already looked at all the coins earlier today in preparation for the show, so I already know exactly what I'm going to do unless I see a significant change in volatility. WTC, BTC, Walton Chain. What's going on, baby? Walton Chain is going to be signaling a long. Volume is not quite there. I really do want to see volume right now because price is below the baseline. Again, you guys are allowed to use any volume indicator that you like. I find using regular volume works quite well. So discretionary position sizing. I would take Walton Chain at half risk. In fact, I'm not going to take Walton Chain. Because the volume's not there for me. But again, it is a valid signal, but I would have to take it at half risk, price below the baseline, volume needs to be there. Let's see here, man. Oh, Ben, what's going on over there on DLive? Yeah, let me see if there's something that I can do, man. Got you, dude. And I got to make Floyd a moderator along with you, man. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt. You've been invested with power over there, man. Use it responsibly. I know I'm partial to Windscribe, but I have Norton. Is that okay? Scott. So I'm not going to give you any comments. I'm not going to say anything, but don't say the word Norton within the earshot of Scott. I'm going to assume that he's going to be like, he's probably going to launch into a diatribe of everything that's wrong with Norton. Energy pill in his cup of water? Yeah, man. Any idea how much exchanges cash in only for listing a coin and can suspend service anytime? Yeah, probably quite a bit. Binance probably charges $1 to $2 million to list a coin. Changed my name because I like how you said it. Fungineer. In most countries, being anonymous isn't illegal. You're darn right, man. Wonder if in our lifetime, if bullets will be the preferred currency. I don't think so. Yes, it is really live. But Bitcoin is controlled by mainly 3 mining pools. No, it's not. Okay, so to the scan, guys. All right, so currently up 45.71% on all my open positions. All right, so we're going to be using the same indicator over here to be exiting our positions, RVGI on the setting of 8. All right. Agi is going to be done with. So we already took half profit on that trade. And we missed TP2. So let's go ahead and exit that. Which gives us... Okay, good on that. I don't have to do anything as far as that goes. Gold at 663. And sell of 631.50. All right. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy to bob. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why are you all on my phone?
down like you want me, like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you bitches are thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and dirt on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. Fuck all the pictures, dimensions. I don't with your digits, I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause bitch, I got problems on
Oh, I
problems.
completely stopped over ONTUSD and Matrix too, huh? Let's look at those. ONTUSD, there's no action to take here. We are below the baseline. We are pulling ourselves up to the baseline, but so far just consolidating below, basically in a no trade zone, my good friend. There's no long to take. In fact, traditionally, the trade to take here would be reversal shorts off of the baseline. Since we cannot take shorts on ONTUSD, there's nothing to do. Excuse me. I'll look at ONTUSDT. Same thing. Exact same thing. Just in a no trade zone. Nothing to do here. And then the other one was Matrix. Did you mean Matic? I'm going to assume you meant Matic. Matic, we're going to be looking at Matic here in just a second anyways, because that's a trade that we're in. So we'll just continue on with the scan. EOS M19. EOS M19, been short on EOS M19 since right here. And as I've said, basically just been one of those wibble wobble trades that I've been in and decent profit on it right now. So in fact, getting a continuation short signal on Minx anyways. So we're going to go ahead and hold that trade open continually. Metal BTC hit our first take profit target. Didn't hit our second take profit target, and we are still in this trade. Currently up 6.81% on metal. Nothing to do. All right, obviously XBT USD we've already looked at earlier today. Still in a short position from right here. We're going to hold that open. Similarly with Ethereum USD, short position since right here. We're going to go ahead and hold that open. At break even on the XBT short right now at 3.58% profit on the Ethereum. That's without margin. I don't calculate the ROE on BitMEX or ByBit, which is misleading. The only thing that matters is how far price goes from your entry to your exit. Multiply that percentage number by your position size. That's your P&L. That's the only number that matters. 800% on your margin. Who cares how much margin you put into the trade? The only thing that matters is your position size. Anytime you see any trader out there who claims to be a professional trader and they're showing you pictures of their ROE, run away because they are not being legitimate. LTCM19, we've been in this long for a while. We've already taken 2 of 3 take profit targets. There's nothing to do right now. We entered into this trade on the close of this candle right here. Continuation long signal from Minx. So nothing to do except to hold this baby open. Bet USDT. See here. Just missed our first take profit. Aw, you wascally wabbit. You wascally wabbit. Nothing to do here. No early exit signal from anything that we've got going on here, so we will just hold that USDT. Matic. All right, Matic hit take profit 1. Currently up 10.27% on 10.57%, excuse me, on that trade right now. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Stop loss of break even. Chilling. Seller. What's going on with your seller? And seller's going to be an exit as well. Actually, not as well. That'll be our first exit. They're off small losses. Get rid of them. Knowles, USDT. Entered this trade right here, baby. Very happy with Knowles so far. 2 of 3 take profit targets. Stop loss at break even, or we can set a trailing stop. So all we need to do, add our alert, or entry price 7875. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's not. Seller launch sucks since the weird launch on BNB. Yeah. No problem, Floydie. I got you, brother. All right, go Nulls, go. God. Sorry, guys. Something about weekend shows, man. Storm, baby. All right. Are we going to close below the baseline? That's an exit. Let's go ahead. All right, go to nothing to do on this baby. That looks all right. All right. Exit. Go, baby, go. Pivot exit, take profit one. Stop loss at break even. Neblio. 1 and 2. Stop loss at break even. 16. All right. NT. That's all right. Ooh. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 closed trades. Five. GVT, EVX, Decred, Raven, and BTC2. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate that, brother. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though. What platform am I using in this streaming? What do you mean? What platform am I using to trade on? What platform am I using to stream on? What platform am I using to chart on? A lot of possibilities, man. Yep, I just looked at gas, actually. Cool. Well, Frederick, I don't use RSI or stochastic, so the answer to your question is just backtest that with past trades. You go chill. Thanks so much for the 1 lemon, my brother over there on D Live. Love you, man. Digi Dave, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. All right, pretty happy about that so far. Significantly brought my drawdown back. I'm still going to close week 1 in the red. That's all right, though. Beginning of the week, I was about negative 3% ROI. Now I'm a little less than negative 1. That's pretty good. First week of June, transitioning from bullish market to bearish market. Still have to take all the signals, starting to throw on the discretionary position sizing. It's all right. Pretty used to it. But I'm pretty happy closing the week out like that. Especially after May. So I made 46%, 46.6% return on my total equity in May. And first week in June, giving less than 1% of it back. That's okay. All right, so let's move along and look for new positions. Opened up a short on ZERP USD last night. So nothing to do on that. EOS USD might be signaling a short, but not today. And of course, XBT and Ethereum, nothing to do. Ethereum's actually signaling a continuation short, but I'm already in a short on Ethereum, so there's nothing to do. No new positions. I don't have to adjust anything on ByBit. Going to BitMEX. ZERP M19 is signaling a short, but there's no confirmation. Not a trade we want to take. Similarly with XRP, no confirmation though. To ADA M19 is also not signaling a short. I mean, it is, but there's no confirmation. EOS is giving us a continuation short on BitMEX, but we're already in an EOS short, so nothing to do. TRX M19 is signaling a short, but no confirmation. Still in a long on Litecoin, so nothing to do. Ethereum M19, now that actually looks pretty good. Confirmed on Ethereum Bitcoin as well. All right, so nothing to do on BitMEX except for that FM19. Go check out our tether pairs. Deep Sea Red. Doubt we're gonna find anything here good, but we'll look. We're already in the good ones. Just double checking seller, yep. All right, Nano, no, Neo, no, Nulls. We're already in a long trade on Nulls. OMG, no. One, not enough data. ONG, no. ONT, no. Pax, no. Qtum, no. Especially after getting delisted. Theta, no. VChain. Back to that VChain. Waves, no. Lumens, no. Monero, no. ZERP, no. ZEC, no. ZIL, no. DROX, no. All right, so not a single USDT trade that I want to take. What about our large sats? No. Rep, called Rep yesterday. That one hit take profit 1 and 2. Binba, nothing to do. Decred, I called yesterday. No, I didn't. Thought I did. Somebody asked for Decred yesterday. Interesting. Anyways, nothing to do right now. All right, so not a large sat coin that I want to take. Let's sift through the sea of mid-sat coins here, ladies and gentlemen. DLT, talked about that one yesterday. Did take profit 1. DQX, talked about that yesterday. Team talked about that one yesterday. Already in a metal trade. Talked about PIVX yesterday. Got about 12 minutes till the daily and weekly candle close. Let's go, baby. Strat. As we said, Strat wasn't anything yesterday. A little something today, though. Go, Nas. Should take that trade here when it got signaled. Didn't take that one on the 6th. Wish I would have. That was a good one. Already took a Komodo trade that already hit 2 of 3 take profits. GXS taken off. Neblio taken off as well. Already in that trade. Hypercash took that trade back in last week, 2 weeks ago. Walton chains along, but there's no volume there, brother. So if you do take it at half risk. As such, I won't be taking it. I already got quite a few positions. It's got to be perfect. Go.com. You would still be in that trade. We talked about that one yesterday. Ethereum Classic. Oh, and we're back at the beginning. So I found 3 good ones there. Low sats. Lend, we talked about Lend last night. Trailing stop loss hit on my Zilliq, or wait. Yeah, trailing stop loss hit on our Zilliq trade yesterday. All right. Pretty much all the low sats they gave us. I wouldn't say everyone. I'd say about 40% of them I've seen did go on and generate. I'd say more that signaled yesterday just reversed. Because Bitcoin sneezed. There. Matic, pretty good. Matic BTC. Took the USDT pairing. I'm not seeing anything good, guys. I haven't found a single low sat coin yet that I'll be trading. The setup's right, though. I'll trade anything. Well, loop ring doesn't look bad. I only found one, guys. Only found one. All right, I like it. Sweet. There it is. $76.51. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Got that all good to go. Cool beans. Let's go over here. All right, so now that we've done all that, let's bring back up the chat. Hugo Chill says, it's late here, man. A bit sleepy. Would give more lemons or ice creams, but this is the first one of first two that I've earned. Nah, man. Thank you, man. It's always appreciated. I think a lot of folks trade Forex on TradingView. Yeah. Yep. If you got a Wanda, yep. Pant Walton chain, baby. Should we buy? I'm in a short position, guys. Let's scroll up a little bit, man. Cisco Kid says Bitcoin will shoot again. Sellers are exhausted. No more sellers at the current prices. We shall see about that, man. ONT USDT. I already did that one. I didn't find a single USDT trade pair that I want to trade. Bitcoin moving up fast now. Yep. Do not believe I am, J2. BTC buy more now? I don't think so, man. How do I get all my coins trades on the right side of the window? Brian Anthony asks. That's the data window. You just click on the icon, which is 2 below your watch list in TradingView. No wonder low cap coins rise when I mention them. Well, you know, there's about 30 million active crypto traders at any moment in time and only about 1,000 people watching this show. So I think you're investing me with a lot more power than I actually have, brother. What's the first thing I look at when doing a daily scan? Minx? Right, because if Minx isn't giving me a signal, there's nothing to do. What coin did I mention just got delisted? Shoot. Storage and Qtum. They didn't get delisted, but you can't trade them anymore on Bittrex. Remember when we couldn't get anything loaded on your former ISP? Yeah, man, that seems like a year ago. God bless the fiber, man. Stochastic RSI is about to turn bullish on Bitcoin. Do I believe a rally towards 9.5K is possible and the real FOMO would start? It could, man. I see no indication on my chart that would make me want to take a long. All right, Live Lever Dice. You know, I welcome all people in here, man, but you know, you are one of those people who, I'm not gonna lie, man. I try to stay very humble. But, and this is why I try to respect everybody's views and opinions. But I'm sure you have something, I mean, there's just gotta be a better way that you can be with your mentality than just cynical all the time, man. Not a good way to live, brother. You've seen my system for 2 weeks and I've been trading it for almost, in different variations, for 6 years, man. Nothing that you're going to do is going to wreck me. There's not a single thing that anybody watching the stream could do to wreck me, all right? Wouldn't just hodling have been far more profitable than 46% over the last month? No, it wouldn't. Because I returned that profit. People who just held are still holding, and price is going down. Let's see here. Is it true that the only way for banks and governments to kill Bitcoin is to pump up gold? No. Nope, I don't think so. How do I determine my targets with Quadriga ATR? What's the 4x market you keep talking about? 4x. Foreign currency, brother. Stop it, Paul. Ernest Hemingway, thank you so much for the subscription over on YouTube. All right. Need to put some bear traps down. Yeah, man. Let's go take a look at how the weekly closed. Weekly closed above the weekly baseline, and the weekly also closed generating a take profit on our long signal. Okay, generating a take profit on our long signal. We would have gotten a continuation long on the weekly time frame right here. Okay. Our first primary long on the weekly time frame right here. Our first take profit long on the weekly time frame here. That's why we trade the daily. We wouldn't have missed all this. Did get the continuation long on the next candle, so we did miss 2 weeks of pump trading the weekly chart. That's why we trade the daily. It's more active. Got into the week, would have gotten into the weekly continuation long here, and it's telling you to fully be out of your position here. I'm sure we would have taken profit on the way up if we would have pulled up Quadriga. signal generated here. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we pretty much sell the top. Rodrigo pretty much has you selling the top. All right, so weekly pullback to the 55. This is not... Sorry, that's the qualifying line. So that's 1 ATR above the baseline. So we're about to, on the weekly time frame, fall back into a buy zone. But on the daily, that's not how we're going to look at things. That would be trading reversals, and we don't trade reversals around here. So we're just going to go with the direction of the dominant trend, and the daily trend is pointed downwards. So there's no long trades to take, guys. So let's look at levels of support on the weekly chart. 66.83 is where our 13 weekly exponential moving average is coming in at. And 58.50 is still where our 55 weekly exponential moving average is coming in at. And again, just as I've said many, many times, the last time that we broke out in 2015, we broke out above the weekly 13 and 55, listed up to upwards for about 4 weeks of consolidation, and then pull back to the weekly 13. That level holds for the most part, and then it's just bull run after that. So do I think we're in a bull market? Yes, I do. Do I think a pullback is likely to correct and allow us to establish that we are in a real bull market and that wasn't just a strong bullish rally? Then, yes, I do. Been saying that for a while, even though I haven't been trading in that direction. Why? Because you don't want to be the guy calling the top of a bull market. You don't want to be the guy calling the bottom of a bear market. But you don't want to be an idiot when price is going down and saying that we're at support, buy the dip. Just like you don't want to be the idiot when price is going up saying we're at resistance, sell the top. Come on, man. Who does that? All right, guys. APB Narcisse, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. And with that being said, guys, I got to go put on my trades. I will see. I already put on one, but I'll see you guys here in a little bit. We will be here tomorrow at 12 to 2. And to usher that in, let's actually flip over here. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I have been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. Corbish, how much leverage do I trade Bitcoin? That leverage has nothing to do with anything. Leverage is a misleading idea. It is leverage only allows you to take on larger capital size of having less capital on deposit at the exchange. The only thing that matters is your position size. So I take on the correct position size pursuant to my account. In general, I trade cross leverage on BitMEX. Just as I trade typically at 5 to 10x on ByBit, and I turn on auto margin leveraging. All right, guys. Thanks for those dead mouses, guys. Thanks for those dead mouse guys. I love them. Cisco Kid, thanks, man. Like the stream if you don't want to get wrecked. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, sarcastic remarks, and/or death threats, they go down in the comment section down below. I will pick a random YouTube commenter tomorrow and tip them some crypto. Paul, Bob the Builder, you are the winner of yesterday's random comment picker. So if you DM me in the Discord, I will tip you some crypto, my good friend. It will be one of our partner coins. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see here, guys. Things looking pretty good, man. Pretty happy with my positions. Ended up returning 46.6% on my capital last month, and ended up closing week 1, which today would be marking week 1 of June for me, giving back a little bit less than 1% ROI. That's okay. All right, that's better than most traders who are doing out there. So, shifting from bullish to bearish. Got to take every signal our indicator gets us. And in general, once the market shifts, then we only get short signals. It's all good, guys. So, remember, trade the plan. Oh, well, plan the trade, trade the plan. All right, guys. If you guys would like access to our proprietary indicators, if you guys would like access to our private Discord community, as well as our signals and setups, our team of analysts and traders, as well as all our educational content, you can, of course, check the link at the top of the screen and down in the description below, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Look forward to seeing you guys. Whatever you do, make sure you join our community at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Thank you guys to you guys. If you guys weren't here, we couldn't continue to do the show every day. So big shout out to you guys as well. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for the support. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Great day.